Hello and good morning to Rudesheim on the Rhine. As you can see, Rudesheim is very busy with tourists. We're making our way towards our campsite and hopefully we can get a place today.
After 800 yards, turn right, B42, towards West Rhine.
We were unlucky with the first site yesterday. It was full. So I'm hoping this one is not going to be full. But last time I came through Rudesheim was a long time ago. I was 10, 11 or 12 years old maybe. And like I said on a previous video, we actually stayed in big wine barrels. That was over 30 years ago, so I'm not expecting to see them, that's for sure. Well, we've done the welcome to Rudesheim on the way in, but this is our campsite for the night. It's a quite a shady area. Good job we've got electronic hookup. That's the way in and that's the way to town. We're going to have a walk around the complex first, I think. It's quite expensive, about 40 euros with hookup. But it's our last night in a campsite. So tomorrow night we are on our way back, heading towards Calais. This is a map of Rudesheim, and all the way up or down, whichever you go. In Koblenz last night, travelled all the way down here, and we're at Rudesheim on the Rhine. Had some spectacular views all the way down here, but the weather wasn't good. In fact, it was raining, so it was a bit overcast. But we're going to have a look around this place and then have a walk into town. So what makes a campsite worth 40 euros a night then? Well, got the drinking water available there. It's available on every single site. Electronic hookup everywhere, as you like to expect. And that is a
baby bath.
A baby bath.
It's really cute.
In the ladies' toilets. That's dog wash there. This is where you wash your pots and pans at the end. It looks very nice in there. You still pay for your washing machines though. So we've not been to anywhere, I don't think, in Europe where you didn't have to pay for washing machines. We went to one or two places in Morocco, believe it or not, where you didn't have to pay for washing machines. So if we can do it in Morocco, why not do it over here? Mind you, the state of the washing machines, they're probably on extended life, and that's the Rhine. So right hand side of the Rhine. So you have all the facilities and they're all in tip-top condition. I suppose that's what you pay your money for.
So the Rhine definitely bursts its banks every now and then, because these are the photos of the ladies. That's that statue over there.
Oh my God.
Underwater.
Wow.
The Rhine. Yeah, that was all covered in water from that photo.
Oh, good. This is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. Doesn't open very early, does it?
No.
And then we're on the Rhine.
This is lovely, isn't it, Wendy?
Yeah. And there's a swimming pool here as well.
Yeah, that's what I'll just explain to the viewers what you get for 40 euros. And you get a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
You do.
Free water to have showers.
Yeah.
Nowhere else does that.
It's the old bridge sort of centrepiece over there. And we're going to wander down into Rudesheim, which on this path will be very nice.
Yeah.
Church bells in the distance. It's a Saturday, so I'll be uploading 3 videos this afternoon when I get back in. Not quite sure which one's the next in line, but I'll upload 3.
Swimming pool,
Oh yeah, big swimming pool over to the right hand side.
diving boards.
Oh yeah. So Wendy and I have just been talking about, you know, paying €40. Some people that's watching may think bloody skinflints, but you know, we are on a budget, believe it or not, and the budget was set for our time away, and we're getting near to the end of this trip, and we have got a bit of money left, but it's also good to have a bit of money left just in case something goes wrong and you need a bit of emergency funding for something on the vehicle or something like that. So we'll just bound that little bit of money that's left over to the next holiday. We've got a separate account that we save in every month. We put a certain amount away in every month, called the holiday fund, strangely enough. And we build up little funds in there, and little funds become big funds, and you go from one month to another, and all of a sudden you've got enough in there to go away again. Tomorrow night we call them transit locations. Basically it's a hello mate, it's facing my way.
Okay.
It's facing your way now.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Ciao, ciao,
Ciao
ciao.
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 So we call them transit stops, really, when we're en route from one location to another, and we're just going via somewhere. So tomorrow night's a car park, but I've lined up not 1 or 2 but 3 car parks this time, just in case. So today, and this location is probably the final campsite. That's unless all 3 park ups are not possible tomorrow night, then we need to go into a campsite. But I don't. We've been to Cologne, saw the huge, massive cathedral there, and had a good look round. Went to Bonn, which is the birthplace of Ludwig van Beethoven. And then only yesterday we were at Koblenz, up in that lovely fortress area.
We had a stop in between though, didn't we?
We did have a stop in between, but there was nothing to really report on there. But it was a lovely location.
So it's right by the side of the Rhine.
Yeah, nice
That was
nice
enough.
scenery. It was, yeah. And then tonight it's Rudesheim. So it's been about 100 miles down the Rhine, which is where we're at. Is enough to experience the Rhine in its beauty. Basically, this is the best bit of the Rhine. And tomorrow, when we actually go, we have got an option about going over a river ferry or driving down the Rhine a little bit more for another 10 miles, crossing over, then coming back and heading back inland, as it were, or over to Calais, which you're going to break down into 3 legs because it's over 300 miles. But we're not going to go over the ferry. We're going to drive down the Rhine. We're going to cross the bridge and then come back up the other side, so you get even more of a view. I'm glad the wet stuff has gone away, because driving down here this morning was bad, really bad. Look at the lovely castles over there on top of the hill.
Castles all the way up the Rhine.
There is. And I'm glad Wendy's had a chance. I purposefully drove down the left hand side of the Rhine with all the castles and the villages and the Rhine itself on the right hand side, because obviously our vehicle's left on drive. So Wendy got to see everything really coming down the Rhine, as much as we could fit in. Right, we shall see you in Rudesheim. So we've just walked down that lovely little path near the Rhine, and we've come under the train bridge and we've stumbled upon this. This is really good. I like this kind of thing. It reminds you of the places you still need to visit. So let's go around, shall we? Prague, been there many years ago. Yet to go to Budapest or Bucharest.
Compass and which way everything is then.
Yeah. Yet to go to Belgrade, Sofia, Athens. Been to Rome, that's supposed to be saying Rome. Been to Vaduz. Vaduz is the capital of Liechtenstein. We should know that, we were there a couple of weeks ago. We drove by Monaco, it was a bit small to get the motorhome in and park up any decent location, so give it a miss. Bern, not been there. Andorra, well, we've been there and you've seen our video for that. Madrid, we've been there. Lisbon, that'll be Portugal, I think. No, Lisbon is not, if it's 2,500 kilometres away, it's not that. I don't know. Paris, been there a couple of times, 3 or 4 times. Luxembourg, been there. Murasalt, no idea what that is. No idea where. Swanage! Oh my god! There's one that says Swanage, Wendy.
Yeah.
Used to live near there. London, yes, been there. Brussels, been there. Bonn, where we were there a couple of nights ago. Den Haag, been there. And Reykjavik, yeah, we've been to Iceland. So we've been there. So there's quite a lot we've been there. And quite a lot of places we yet need to visit. I really like that. Nice. So here we are walking down the front in Rudesheim. And it really is like Scarborough seafront on the Rhine. There's so much tat around. Everything's based at the tourists. Got your fish and chip shops, you got your kebab houses, random hat shops, just shops selling tat to tourists. But what we're looking for now is the hotel that we stayed in with my parents many years ago, where we stayed in the wine barrels. Now I've checked it out and it is down here, but to get to it we've got to fight our way through the fish and chip brigade. In fact, it's supposed to be down this street here. So let's have a look. So the hotel is called the Lindwurst Hotel, which is just there. And I'm just trying to remember now the approach. I definitely remember the barrels, and the pictures I saw on the internet when I did research are the barrels we stayed in, definitely. But you must remember that this was, I was probably 11 or 12, 10, 11 or 12 years old back in the 80s, 82, 81, something like that. Long time ago. But I never forget the barrels. And we stayed in places like this. Yeah. So what we used to do is have the meals in the hotels.
They're funky.
Yeah. Stay and then go downstairs into the cellar bar and have a good dance with a couple called Pete and Midge at the time. They both passed away. Harry and Joyce, poor old Harry's passed away, but Joyce is still fighting. And my mum and my dad. And I'm sure there was more couples there that I unfortunately I've forgotten. So what I'm trying to do is find these barrels, and I think there they are. There's the barrels, Wendy.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly as it was in the early 80s. And in there and downstairs was where we used to go dancing. We used to have our meals. Look at this. This is bizarre. This is like a real step back in time for me. And you can stay in there. You can stay. That lady is actually staying there now. Wow. You know, nostalgia's quite a powerful thing. Especially when one of your parents, my mum in particular, has passed away. And I show this to my dad, who's 96. He'll remember that. and he'll remember staying here because he's got all his faculties, his memory's good. And going down there after a meal and having a good dance. Right, time to take some still shots, I think. So this is inside the Lindwurst Hotel, and I actually remember that stained glass window. It was like you were dining in a church. Look at that. Not changed a single bit, but why would it? It's just perfect, isn't it? Gonna go out to the garden now. Wendy's gone out already. The clock's just struck outside. It's got one of those like cuckoo clock arrangements. I think we've just missed it. Yeah, the bell tower and the clock up there. Did they? This is very popular, isn't it? Look at that. Old Rudesheim. A lot better than the side of the Rhine there. That was just too much. But this is, look how busy this is here. Should we have a walk up, get some beer? So we're going to leave the Lyndhurst Hotel now. And we're going to try and get our way through here. It's not pouring down, but it's raining a little bit. But this is just perfect, isn't it? Oldie, woldy German Rhine town.
Kom bij die zak.
And I think we're going to stop to have a little drink, but you know, Rudesheim doesn't disappoint. The seafront was a bit, no, not the seafront. It was like the seafront in Scarborough, but the side of the Rhine was a bit tacky. This is alright. Try and making the most of the tourists, I suppose. You always want to remember it as it was many, many years ago, but it's never going to be the same. People have got to make a living, obviously. And if you've got things like this surrounding you, this beauty, then you're going to capitalise it, aren't you? It does seem a bit weird walking around Rudesheim after all these years, looking at the sights. Trying to remember where you were when you were 10 or 11 years old, when now I'm 55. It's difficult sometimes, you know. Right, I think it's time we stopped again and we got ourselves some light refreshments, and that looks quite nice. So we're having a rather rainy walk through Rudesheim, and we've all been there, haven't we, where you know it starts to rain, starts to drizzle, and you find yourself just wandering around, but every now and again you stumble on something like that, which I really like. I like the authenticity, I like the way it's just been left. Some would say it's an eyesore and it needs doing up. I'd argue the point that sometimes it's good to be, you know, reminded of how things used to be. A lot of time with these towns, everything's all done up, all presented really well. So the the battery just ran out. But really all I was saying was that we've all been through these, you're away on holiday and the weather's pretty shit on one of the days. You end up wandering around with an umbrella, rather like we are now, trying to find that hidden gem. We found one or two. Should we walk down that way, Wendy? I know there's a car park, but there might be something right down there. And then we know the Rhine's just to the right hand side there, so we'll just walk down here to the end and then turn right. There's a fenced off bit down here as well. I need to change John's door. Just hold up, mate, because you're going to get wet. And then I've got it. Okay. So because Wendy's really small and I'm a freak basically, I've got to have the umbrella, otherwise she gets wet. I'm trying to balance the GoPro, making sure the GoPro is actually pointed at me or Wendy whilst talking and thinking. Multitasking is difficult for me. No, we've not found anything, no hidden gems down here. So we're going to go back. So we're now leaving at a really nice campsite. It's the morning of the 28th and we're now going to go another 20 miles down the Rhine, cross over the Rhine and then come out the other side and head inland really, head towards Belgium to our first stop on the way back home. 100 miles, well it'll be about 120 miles of the Rhine done. Time to head back to the UK. So today we've got 138 miles to do and it's just a car park tonight, which I'll show you later on. Most of it's motorway work, so not very exciting at all, but we may give you a couple of shots of the Rhine as we go down the Rhine. But let's get out of Rudesheim first.
Last glimpse of the Rhine before